Hello, what is your emergency?
My son's been killed!
Calm down. Can you please explain to me the situation?
My son called me. He said someone was in the house. I heard gunshots. When I got home, he was dead. He was stabbed and shot in the shoulder. Oh my God, there's blood everywhere!
Okay, ma'am. An emergency response team has been dispatched to your area. Please stay put.
Joseph Wayne, a 14-year-old kid at the end of his 8th grade year, a rising freshman who had high hopes and aspirations for high school. He was an up-and-coming track star and hoped to continue his path in his upcoming years.
Joseph was an amazing kid. Everybody just admired him. We used to think what he would be or do in the future, and it's just a shame. Now I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Joey was my son. How do you expect me to feel? I don't know what gave this the right to come and shoot my son. I don't know what to say. I'm beyond furious. I'm heartbroken.
Unfortunately for Joseph, he would never be able to continue his dreams. On May 9th, 2019, he was found in his home with 5 stab wounds in his abdominal region and a bullet wound to the shoulder. When police showed up to the crime scene, they found his body coated in blood. Surrounding him were several 9mm bullet casings. However, on the other side of the scene, another set of bullet casings labeled as .45 ACP rounds were found. But something wasn't adding up. Why would there be stab wounds and several gunshots? When analysts showed up to the area, they found 2 guns laying at the scene. A Walther P99, which was most likely used by Joseph due to the location and matching fingerprints on it. There was also a Colt 45 that had the identification engraving filed off. Interestingly enough, it appeared to be the same weapon used as a gas station robbery just 2 days before, but it cannot be confirmed just yet. When searching the area, a blood path was also found, leading away from the scene. It started at the hallway due to the splatter direction and location potentially meant that the gunner was injured because the blood type identified was a separate blood type from that found coming from Joseph. Joseph was found with type A positive blood, but the blood found along the path was B negative. This theory is true, and this injury could be a very good source to confirm who committed this murder. It may not completely determine who did it, but it does leave a very large trail to finding where the killer went when found, confirming it. The next piece of evidence found were several bloody fingerprints scattered throughout the area. On doorknobs, the walls, and the gun, they were found. Only 1 set was found in the area other than those that belonged to the family. They were also all over whoever was using the gun that killed Joseph. These prints ironically matched those found in the gas station 2 days before, and were then captured and stored for later purposes. Finally, there was the gun. After a trail had been started with blood and fingerprints, the final step was to find out who bought the gun. But how would it be traced if the ID was taken off?
So, typically when someone has the intent to kill, they usually try to hide up any possible way that they could be found, but as it so happens, this individual was also very stupid. They left behind very, very many pieces of evidence that we can easily track. So, for example, they filed the engraving off the side of their gun, but that can still be tracked back to them because the engraving is a lot deeper than surface level. So, simply by using some acid, we can just sand it down, put the acid on, it'll take it down enough so we can then re-see the identification and trace it right back to them.
Now that the ID is found, the weapon can be traced. When tracked, the weapon goes back to a Jordan Joseph. After all the evidence had been found, this is how we believe the situation happened. Jordan Joseph had a bad record following him, a series of mental illnesses. He also had performed many low-level crimes throughout his life, but he never had murder on his record. We believe he was still running from law enforcement at this point. He was already serving his parole time, and when confronted, he came to his door with a limp, and he only responded with,
"That is ridiculous. Why would you think it was me? I don't even know who the hell this kid is."
But it was clearly a lie. When asked about his leg, he stuttered, but claimed he had only rolled his ankle. He then proceeded to say he never owned the gun, but the papers do not lie. When he finally agreed to be tested, the evidence was undeniable. His fingerprints aligned perfectly with those stored earlier. He also eventually agreed to show his injury, and it was more than just a rolled ankle. It was a bullet wound, and appeared to be from a 9mm round. There was no more point in hiding. He attempted to escape, but was caught immediately. He then admitted to the officers that he killed Joseph Wayne and robbed the gas station. He said he was trying to find a safe house for the time being, and it is why he broke in, but he never expected there to be someone still home. He believed everyone to be gone. Jordan is now being tried for first-degree murder, theft, breaking and entering, and making false statements to the police.
As a mom, I'm completely devastated by all this. I hope my son can rest knowing the fact that they found his killer.
Yeah, we heard he's just been caught. They asked me if I'd love to come down there and see him. I said I would love to. He took my son from me. He will rot in hell.
The Wayne family could rest easy now. Their son's killer to be locked away for the rest of his life, being dealt the justice that he deserved. Tune in next time for our next episode of Forensic Files.